Episode 5 of the NWA Flashback. We are once again met by JJ and welcoming back from her stint in Puerto Rico, Lissy Almeida. Lissy, the numbers dropped. The numbers didn't drop, they plummeted last week in your absence. So thank you for bestowing upon us your presence this afternoon. Is it true you were at some local wrestling at the weekend? How did it go?
Yeah, this week I attended CCW, local
Give me the
wrestling.
full plug, details, website.
CCW right here, local wrestling down here in Miami, run by the one and only Gangrel. So we had a lot of local talent, but also some former names that we know. And I got to do a little meet and greet with Brian Cage. Super cool. Took a picture. I think folks have seen it up on our page.
Who took the picture?
Quentin took the picture. And
I'll give the photo credit. It's very important.
I know, right? You got to. I know. He asked for it, so thank you. But yeah, so you guys know I love my local indie wrestling. So quick score, 10 for 10.
10 for 10, wow, impressive. But did Brian Cage, was he victorious on the evening as well?
Yes, always, of course. Come on.
No jobs. JJ, you're welcoming back as well. Nothing changed, presumably, still getting no sleep and getting run around by 2 small children.
That's my life, mate. Yeah, very hectic Sunday. I was telling this week just off air. Drove over 200 kilometers on Sunday. We were going to go to the marina, but it was in a big park, and we didn't make it through the park to the marina. So I essentially drove about 200k just to get run around the park by Seb. And very tired. Drove a long way. And then he woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, kept me up. So, yeah, I'm on little sleep. I'm very tired, but I'm here. And we've got a big promo to watch on today's WCW, haven't we?
We have indeed, correct. This is my favourite promo of all time. This is the time between Nate losing the belt to Ronnie Garvin September 25th, 1987. He wins it back. Oh, spoiler alert, I'm really sorry. At Starrcade then in Chicago, Chi-Town Heat in 1987. I think end of November, Thanksgiving. But listen, when is Thanksgiving? I just know it's in end of November. Is there a specific date every month? Is it like the 4th Thursday or something?
Yeah, so it usually lands on the last Thursday of the month. So This month, for our American viewers, the 25th is Thanksgiving.
25th. So Flair would win the belt, but he then had 8 weeks to build up this match. And he, again, nobody can cut a promo like the Nature Boy Ric Flair. So he will explain to you why you should buy this pay-per-view, because this was the first Starrcade where Vince put Survivor Series on for free on the USA Network. So we're going to be watching World Championship Wrestling 11th American dates, 14th of November 1987. It really annoys me because this is on the WWE YouTube feed as the 13th of November, and it winds me up no end because I have got terrible OCD. But JJ, give us the network key for those who are still away from the cock.
It's World Championship Wrestling 6466.
And Lissy, you are on the cock. Give us the details, please.
Yep, for the cock, we're on World Championship Wrestling, Season 3, Episode 45, November 14th, 1987.
Number 14, 1987. And I will try to make sure the picture-in-picture is at least in sync and you can shut me out once and for all. We are going to click play in 3, 2, 1. And we will try and at least track it. I'm a little bit rusty. This is the poor version of the intro. It's not that. Look at the Mid-Atlantic, the proper intro later on in about 2 hours' time for the 16th of November edition, when I am going to be absolutely shit-faced by then.
Cheers.
Look at Tony, but that stash is tremendous. The 4 Horsemen fans in the crowd.
Davy Crockett.
The word you'd use for Tony Schiavone right now is just shagger. Imagine that man has got Poontang coming out of his sleeves.
How old did Tony turn this week, Jack?
He turned 64. Many happy returns to Tony Schiavone. Do you know, I wound the missive no end. I am so pleased with my little 1-minute video of Flair saying Tony Schiavone over and over. I must have played it about 20 times. And she's like, can you just get a life? That's really sad. Tony Schiavone. And I think I'm going to make that even better as well. So,
how can you make it better?
Oh, I've got more clips. Look, this is Ron Simmons, rookie Ron Simmons. Look at big Ron.
He's here. What a guy. So weird, isn't it? Like, as soon as he walked in, I was like, damn, this guy is... I didn't even...
Is that a pun intended, JJ?
No, that was pun not intended. This guy is huge. But then, like, when you saw him in WWF in, like, I don't know, 96, 97, 98, he wasn't like... You didn't think, wow, this guy's huge. He was just similar. He was just like normal size. Same as like someone like Billy Gunn, who's like 6'7". He's just normal size, isn't he? No, everyone was massive. That was the problem.
I mean, the thing is, Ron Simmons here in '87. He won the Heisman Trophy 2 years ago in '85. JJ, are you an American sports fan?
Nope.
Heisman Trophy is like the
it's like the young
PFA Young Player of the Year.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. And he was kind of brought under Dusty's wing. He was from Florida. I think he was Old State in Miami, I want to say. They retired his jersey at one of the Florida college football teams. And he's a big deal. And yeah, he came into WCW, had a good run with Doom. And then he was like a manager in Coca-Cola. He quit the business in '93. He was world champion in '92. And Bruce Pritchard was a massive fan of his, talked him into coming, but Vince took one look at him and went, nope, not with that hairline. Need to cover that hairline, pal. Which is why he had the gladiator helmet, because people would think he's really old. And you look at Ron Simmons, you go, why? You wouldn't even look at his hairline. Look at his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive.
But I mean, when you walk into the land of giants and you're a giant, it's another one.
You're just another one. This is Dr. Death, and speaking of another college football, Dr. Death Steve Williams, who was, I think, All-American at Oklahoma in both football and wrestling. This is, Jim Ross's guy. Big clothesline. Boom!
Our friend Dr. Death was the favorite, to win the Brawl for All.
It's so weird seeing him with this facial hair. He normally has the big beard, or at least the stubble.
Yeah. These are his younger days.
Yeah, Dr. Death is probably around like mid-late 20s. You forget the run he had running Power Slam, and Teddy Long on that's all she wrote.
This guy's
Teddy Long would obviously go on to manage Doom and Ron Simmons and Butch Reed a few years later, tag team glory. But Dr. Death, this is the first part of the crossover between UWF, Crockett bought Mid-South Wrestling, and they were trying to integrate the likes of Dr. Death and Terry Taylor. I think we saw it on a episode from last month. The first three guys from Mid-South coming across. And Dr. Death and Ron Simmons were going to be, hopefully, big plans.
There he is.
Let's track it, because Dr. Death is... he wasn't known for his talking, but...
Let's see how he did.
Yeah, so Dr.
Death... That's very unlike what you expect to see when someone's trying to build a match. Usually they go, it's not going to be a wrestling match, it's going to be a fight. This guy's this was two technical wrestlers.
Well, he's trying to get over the fact that he was an All-American. He was All-State. Either Oklahoma or Oklahoma State, I think he's the best college of wrestling. Jack Briscoe, former NWA champions there, Joey Briscoe. But it just, it didn't really click, did it? If you look at Dr. Death, just as an aesthetic, you think, and Ron Simmons, you think, how are these guys not going to be two of the greatest of all time?
Mm.
And got to be able to. This is the point we were making earlier about Brian Cage. Got to be able to talk. AEW is very much like mid-late 80s Crockett. Get 2 minutes, put yourself over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why it's good to, you have to be paired with that right manager if you can't, because then, you do the work in the ring and they'll do the work on the mic.
Brian Cage had Taz. Taz is the tits.
The tits.
Tasman Jones. Taz is brilliant. I loved it. He's commentary as well. He's brilliant as well. I think he's great.
I'm so happy to see him back on commentary. Like, I really loved his work on SmackDown, and I'm really happy that, he's back on in AEW. He really brings that je ne sais quoi to the booth.
Oh, that'll be a gift tomorrow. Taz, I used to subscribe to his podcast. He was so funny. Just like an hour. I think he had his own show in New York radio. I can't get him. Some sports.
We just discussed about how many blade jobs this guy's done on his forehead.
It's a lot.
I don't know what's going on, but that is a disgrace of a forehead.
It's a lot.
Johnny Weaver. Yeah, Johnny Weaver, who was famous for doing the sleeper hold. And he's taught Dusty Rhodes in the run-up to his cage match with Lex Luger. And as you can see, they brought in Hiro Matsuda, who's the guy who basically ran the Florida territory for about 15, 20 years. He's the guy that brought Lex Luger. He's the guy who, when Hulk Hogan first went to learn how to wrestle, Hiro Matsuda broke his leg. Just to see, yeah, you're not tough. And then he came back 6 months later. Matsuda would form some really weird alliance with Flair in 89 once, because the Horsemen had gone until he'd gone to the WWF, and they made out like he was the guy who's the head of the Japanese mafia. So he was like, it was called like the Yakuza group.
It's a lot.
Oh my God, this is number one. Paul Jones. I've been watching him with other things from years gone by. This is so 80s.
Just a massive hick.
Yeah.
A massive hillbilly.
Boom. See you later.
And again, look at that. Look at all the grannies in the front row.
Oh.
This is like the world of sport. JJ, have you ever watched the old World of Sport shows from the 80s and 70s and that used to be on ITV? It's just very angry grandmothers on the front row.
Yeah. Big Daddy and Giant Haystack kind of thing. Yeah. No, I heard about them, never watched them. But I did. Did you ever watch any of the reboot? That they did?
I didn't watch the reboot. I used to watch it when I went to uni. The wrestling channel had just started, right. And they had everything. So they'd obviously bought whatever they could content-wise. So old episodes of World of Sport, shoot interviews, ROH stuff. I think, did he not get released? Was Stu Bennett one of the guys on it?
Stu Bennett was on it. I think Piper Niven, now Doudrop was on there. They had a few decent names on there. I, in a past life, did some interviews and media work at snooker events, and one of the guys that does the emceeing for snooker is called Phil Seymour, and they had him come on as the World of Sport.
I find him really weird
about that.
Yeah, I was at when because obviously JJ and I worked together when Bet Victor sponsored the Welsh Open in 2015. I was there for having to spend 10 days in Cardiff. That was when Ronnie O'Sullivan hit a 146 because he refused to make a 147 because he thought the prize money was shit.
I was there at the English Open. I think the first event I ever did when Ronnie pulled out a 147. Actually, I got to see a Ronnie 147.
There you go.
It's a very small crossover of the Venn diagram of people who are interested in 80s WCW and people who know who Ronnie O'Sullivan is. Literally sitting here like,
we've got the Freebird Michael Hayes here and gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Can we just mention?
Wow, this entrance.
The boots that Precious is wearing right now, they are tremendous. Listen, have you got any of those type of boots?
In my closet? Absolutely.
Those are pretty woman type boots, are they not?
Oh yeah, you need it.
They had a really weird program where
now.
And early in the year, it's weird. Michael Hayes is like 27, 28.
I've never seen Michael Hayes in the ring.
Oh yes, Michael is a young man.
He's not great. So the idea behind the Freebirds, it was Bam Bam Terry Gordy and Buddy Roberts and Michael Hayes. The Freebirds, they started the Freebirds rule where there's three of you, you can only have two. And Michael would be the shit talker, and the guy, he was the heat magnet basically. I mean, look at the strut, look at the hair. How does that man not get heat?
He's the Xavier Woods. That's what he's telling me.
I mean, I haven't watched WWE since 2010, 2011. I'll take your word for that. I know he's the trumpet player in the New Day, right?
Say again.
He's a trumpet player in the New Day.
I think it's the trombone.
Oh, fuck off. Brass band.
What? You're talking about Woods?
He's actually getting a chance to finally show what he can do in the ring now, because he won King of the Ring, had a good match on SmackDown this week, got destroyed by Roman Reigns afterwards.
How do you know he had a good match on SmackDown?
YouTube.
You've got no time. You did 200 kilometers to go to a park. Don't give me that nonsense, JJ.
That was Sunday.
Oh, sorry.
Saturday was free. I managed to catch up on Rampage, and then just was having a look, see what else was happening on SmackDown.
Yeah, he did have a good night on Friday though. And
what day is your birthday this week?
Wednesday. So by the time this will go up, it would have been and gone.
How many years? Is it 32?
32, Joe. I'm 32.
I don't get the reference, but many happy returns in anticipation.
Thanks.
Happy
Anyone does
early
get the
birthday.
reference. Nice one.
What film was it?
It was a TV show, American sitcom called Friends. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did.
You've never seen Friends?
When I first moved over here to Spain, I hated the first year. I brought with me the Friends box set. Oh, again, so old, 10 DVDs in the big box set.
Yeah,
as well as the only full series as well. Why, God? Why? We had a deal.
I like Friends, but I never followed it like that religiously.
And that's the thing. My missus claimed she did. So when we started talking the first time, I love Friends. So obviously, being a geek, I started hitting her with all these lines. Yeah, I don't follow it that much.
I actually don't remember what episode that line was from.
Series 8.
It wasn't his 30th birthday. Rachel's 30th birthday. It was Joey said something like stupid.
I'm 30, 32, Joe.
And Chandler turned to him and you're 32, man. Stop being a fucking idiot, essentially. But I can't remember what it was, but for some reason that line stuck in my head.
I think it's around Series 8. That's when Chandler has the glasses and the weird, bigger hair. Slightly moppy. Yeah. Slightly JJ-ish.
JJ has good hair.
He has a good hair. He has a bad webcam.
Honestly, if you see the top of it, there's not very much left. I've noticed.
A friend of mine actually went to the trouble of watching one of our stuff. He goes, "It's good, but God, why is that other guy so blurry?"
Yeah, I need to sort it out, don't I?
I was like, he's just a bit pissed. It's fine.
I need to invest in an actual webcam.
Oh my God.
By the way, this is why we're seeing. So Michael Hayes and his team with Jimmy Garvin would end up being a free bird in the late 80s when Terry Gordy realized he could earn a lot more money in Japan tagging with Dr. Death Steve Williams. But this isn't great. If you go back to the early 80s when it was the Freebirds feuding with the Von Erichs in Texas, Michael wouldn't do much wrestling. God, that outfit is so 80s on Precious.
First of all, women would not be this fully dressed anymore.
It's weird to think that Michael Hayes has still got the same hairstyle, yet he has probably about a tenth of the hair.
Speaking of hairstyles, Teddy Long needs to just let it go. He's got nothing
it was bad here.
Just coming down the back here.
Side note, the guys there on the front row, they would be the Horseman fans. They would turn up in suits most weeks and just be like the almost sort of got hanging off the outfit on Precious. Good Lord. And I think there's only 150 to 200 fans for the studio wrestling, and they would make so much noise.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what the appeal of the NWA was when it restarted for power. Belated happy birthday to the real world champion Nick Aldis, who turned 36 in the week. He's Mrs. Mickey James doing wonderful thing. What's causing all this? So, Jersey, you pointed this out a couple of weeks ago. There was a minute-long package on Ric Flair pretty much every week. This is his entrance for... Well, the entrance there was to Starrcade 85. The one before was the Great American Bash for 86 in Charlotte. This is Starrcade against Nikita. Yes, I'm really sad. I know all these off by heart. Okay. I have a clip bank of 1,500 Ric Flair stuff.
Anyone who's watching this would appreciate that and not think you're sad, Jack. You're amongst friends. It's okay.
Hey, I made $700 in wrestling t-shirts this month. It's all good with me. This is paid for nappies. I hate that robe, though. That robe's terrible.
The pink one.
The check there is for the $1 million from Starrcade 84 against Dusty Rhodes. It was Joe Frazier was the referee, and he stopped the match against Dusty for excessive blood. This is I didn't like the pink one.
Gorgeous Jimmy and Michael Hayes.
Oh God.
It's so funny. Like men did
Michael
not
Hayes
in this time and thought it looked good.
Does Michael Hayes here just not scream cocaine, or is that just me?
It's just a
I
lot.
just don't know what he's doing. Like, he's blocking people out. He's not looking at the camera. It's like
he's the star.
To use a very English expression, he looks smacked off his tits.
Strung out, yeah.
I mean, I can appreciate the chest there, but that is quite the mullet.
Yeah, you can pull off that chest there, Jack, but you cannot grow that mullet.
God,
I could, but I would look like Michael Hayes now at 70 years old, trying to grow it along.
Well, then we have our girl Precious with the feather. Oh my God, 80s were just a troubling time for fashion in here.
Luckily, they had some top quality wrestling to make up for it.
And there's a thing as well where everyone had to be blonde. At least Gorgeous Jimmy is. Oh, hello.
He has the curls, so he works that.
Yeah, let's see what's happened. We saw you off air 2 weeks ago with the glorious perm. What's going on?
It's not a perm. That's how my hair naturally is.
Bring the curls back.
No.
There's a friend of mine who would say those types of words all the time in front of my missus just to hear it in an Irish accent. Go on, say it. Curling. Hurling. Yeah, this is, I tell you what, the first 20 minutes without any Horseman or Dusty or Cornette, and it is really struggling.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between 86 and 87. So 86, Crockett was peak. And then 87, they tried to blood new guys in. It's just, yeah.
Oh my God, I just can't with them making out full on.
She's quite pretty in The Girl Next Door way.
She's not got ginger hair though, Jack. So
no. I just want to find that gif of Jamie Hayter from the week, because I was watching that just in awe. The way, because again, when you appreciate a wrestler or a whatever, and you know their strengths and their weaknesses, you want them to improve the other area. And to see you get the little facials to the camera, like, yes, she's getting it.
Thing is, you know that because when Jamie Hayter's on screen, that's the only thing that you're looking at, whereas not the case for everyone else. I
mean, I'm trying to make a polite way of saying she can sit on my face any day, but these pages aren't monetized. We can say whatever we want. Yeah, it's my show. We can say whatever the fuck I want anyway. We're all right.
All right, clip that up at Jamie Hayter on Twitter.
Any day, twice on Sunday. What a way to go. Tell you what, as well, what I was on about these guys, Rick Steiner's fucking jacked here.
He's so ripped too.
People forget. So Rick had a good run in 87. He was another guy in Mid-South who came across. He was in Mid-South 86, 87. Scott didn't come into like mid-late 89. He had a really good run. He was TV champion in 88, 89. Dusty wanted Rick Steiner to beat Flair for the belt at Starrcade 88, and Flair went, absolutely not. But he had a good 2-3 years before Scott came on the scene. And look at those tights. It's a really nice homage from Junior.
JJ,
you're going to have to correct me on his name. I just know him as Mini Steiner. What's his name? The young Steiner?
Braun Breaker, is that it? Is that you're talking about?
Fucking nonsense. Yeah. Call him Rick Steiner. He's a Steiner.
I guess this is why they had to get rid of Braun Strowman, because you can't have two Brauns in there. People would get confused. So it makes sense.
I mean, I don't agree with Cornette on a lot of things, but his reviews are really good. And he said, I watched NXT 2.0 for the first time, goes, Braun Breaker. He looks like a Steiner. He sounds like a Steiner. He wrestles like a Steiner. Why the fuck aren't they calling him a Steiner? I think because the last time Scott Steiner met Vince and Linda, he told Linda to go fuck herself. And
nice.
And the two of them, Scott and Rick, haven't been welcomed back since.
Not a nice
Yeah,
thing
but who
to say.
cares? But you still hired his son. Shit.
Surely, was it Triple H who said, whatever's good for best for business?
Business.
It's all about
Wrong
business.
breaker.
I mean, I've not watched any NXT 2.0. I've never seen this
Who
guy.
has?
If he walked past me in the street, I would not know who he is, genuinely. So
You would, because you would think,
I
you'd
wouldn't.
see him and go, he looks like a member of the Steiner family.
yeah. I'd be like, is that Jordan Grace's brother?
Yeah, but the thing is,
A lot
it's
of
not
people
just
won't
with him,
get
they've
that.
done it with everyone. I mean, do you guys remember even when Charlotte, when Charlotte first came, like she wasn't even allowed to woo at all, or like she was just Charlotte. Like then she became Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah, like they discouraged that because they wanted her to be like her. I get it, like you don't want to like attach, but if you're that good in the talent section, you can talk, you can do all of that. You can attach to your family name. It's when you're not going to live up to that expectation that you should kind of step back.
We've spoke on here before about how hard it is when you're saddled with that to live up to it. So I can understand why they want to. No, but we said like Cody Rhodes, he was never going to be anywhere. Good time to say it, but he wasn't going to be a Dusty Rhodes. If they brought him in as not mention it and just bring him in as Cody or whatever, then.
And we discussed this off air last week, saying that promo by Cody cut was probably one of the best context-wise he could cut to try and keep himself babyface, where he concedes his flaws in the sense of, I'm never going to be as good as Dustin. I'm never going to be as good as my dad. Speak of the devil, we've got to track this because this is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Oh, I remember this. They both tried to plug the
Your way, baby.
This was the VHS.
What a talker.
Again, Cody, you're never going to be the dream.
What are the gang signs that Nikita Koloff was doing at the end? He's so cute.
I love that guy.
Really, see, that was really tense straight away. Dusty named his boys straight away, which is Ron Simmons as well as Nikita. Barry Windham was a protege of his in Florida, son of Black Jack Mulligan, who was one of Dusty's former tag partners. And then Dr. Death, who was a protege of his straight away. And then he had to bring in the heel side. But late 87, it was just starting to lose a bit of its shine. But Dusty could talk. It was just, they didn't think it was right. Lex was the big new thing of the Horseman, and Dusty beats him in a cage. And then he goes and wins the Bunkhouse Stampede January 88 as well.
Lex Luger.
Oh, God. I mean, we'll get into it next year. The promos Flair cuts on Luger in the summer of 88 are just phenomenal. A lot of, oh, you big gold Adonis. You, my friend, you may look as good as this, but what's up there? Can't beat me. And then Flair goes and beats him. Makes him like a massive dick.
Oh, my Lord.
So this is, we've seen the superpowers there. This is Ricky Santana, who, again, a guy didn't last very long. A crossbody should seal it here. And Flair, he calls out Flair the week before because I've just edited the clip for the the 7th of the 7th of November clip, and Flair kind of calls him out and said, "Just fuck off, right? Unless you're gonna be doing it with one of the Horsemen, then we'll talk." But he's a guy that again brought in 3 or 4 months, didn't have it, left. We don't need to listen to his promo; he's not very good.
He didn't have what it takes.
And again, the problem is when the bar is set so high already, with Dusty, Cornette, the Horseman, even Ronnie Garvin.
Seems that everyone does the same thing, stand in front of the camera and talk. There's no sort of variation in it. And if you can't do that, you're not going to get over. It's hard to sort of play to people's strengths. You see the way we were talking about how AEW will deal with people like Jungle Boy or forgot his name now. The emo kid.
I do like the fact on the
Darby
WWE
Allin.
subtitles it just says foreign language in brackets.
And it's like, yeah, they'll put it with Sting or put them alongside
Mundo.
Christian Cage or do different things to get them over. But in this kind of presentation, it's just not a thing, is it?
Let me try this because this is Liz's boy, Kevin Sullivan.
Why you gotta be my
Right? That was a shit promo. But so Dr. Death was a UWF champion. They barely alluded to it earlier. That's how second rate. The idea at the start was Mid-South, UWF, Crockett, same level, and you come to a bit like the Alliance stuff in 2001, but ego's always getting in the way. And ironically, Barry Windham in '87 is probably one of the best top 5 workers in the world. Him and Dr. Death have one of the worst matches of all time at Starrcade.
Lovely.
2 weeks later. I mean, Lisa, if you're free, we can have a Starrcade watch along.
Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
You got the money, honey.
You're not doing anything for Thanksgiving, are you? We can just do a live watch along. Cool.
Yeah, perfect. Right during dinner.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Lisa?
Not sure yet. I'll probably be in Atlanta. It's actually my family lives there. My sister, my niece, my close family lives there.
Very nice.
Fun fact, a very New England accent is adding an R to the end of things that don't need it. So Atlanta, Florida, that is something you'll hear.
Florida. I think Kevin
in the ring.
Oh, now we're talking, boys. Look at that sexy man. Look at that sexy bastard. God. Straight away with a drop toe hold. Arnie's the daddy. Look at that. Rub his face in there. Kick him in the face, Arn.
I trust these guys are just enhancement talents, not anyone that I should know.
Yeah.
I don't recognise them. I mean, one of them's just in a red mask, so I can't imagine that I would.
Is that who El Negro is?
It's Washington and El Negro. That's quite the name, but I mean, yeah.
Well, our guy Washington has no shoes on, so he's tribal.
Some Matt Riddle wannabe over here.
It's a lot happening.
Honestly, the way Tully sells, you don't get that anymore. As a heel, if he gets punched, he drops to one knee. It's so no one else does it at all. You go to anything from Tully, 86, 87, 88. He's brilliant at it.
Why is that not
the only person that does it as well, and you can tell they are besotted by them, is Dax and Cash with FTR.
Yeah.
And prediction-wise, oh God, am I going to be able to watch Full Gear?
Is it Saturday night or Sunday night?
I don't know, but the alarm goes off twice in the night breastfeeding, so I don't know that I'll be able to exactly stream and watch along. And everyone loves tits.
Hey.
But do you think FTR will beat the Lucha Brothers for the tag belts?
No.
I mean, they already have for the others, so why not?
I thought that was the last Super Ranas.
Same as when Christian Cage beat Kenny. Christian beat Kenny for the TNA World title, right? But then lost the big one. I think they have these little devices to, keep people not seem like they're burying someone in defeat,
Yeah.
Right, let me try this because we've got two of the greatest of all time here.
Okay. Oh, it's happening. Let's do it. What a promo.
You can't watch that and not be like completely taken in by every single word he's saying.
The eye contact. Constant eye contact
with his face, yeah.
You are not going to take my livelihood from me.
Arn. Also, honorable mention, Tully has the best lashes. Like, he looks like he has eyeliner on all the time. It's wonderful.
I don't feel like
podcast.
Random observation.
But you're watching it and thinking, again, I didn't appreciate when I started watching like mid 90s. I thought, Anna, so not a clue. And then you go back and watch 85, 86, 87. Fucking hell, he's so good. He's so good. It's the way Arn and Tully would stare. JJ, the point you pulled me up on saying I was talking over their promo from 85. Tully was the guy staring straight down the camera, talking to Magnum. You've had your chance. You don't get any more. And I'm saying to you, Arn doesn't have that yet. And this is his first year.
2 years later, he's there.
It's his first year in the big territory. You look at him there, 2 years on, and the intensity down the lens. You think I've got to see that pay-per-view.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, if you listen to his podcast at the Arn Show, really good podcast. He said back then it was week to week. You would have to bring people in and sell tickets because you earn money off the gate. You were literally talking yourself a salary every week, and that's the best way to learn. But yeah, that's so good. Tully's so underrated because Tully was always the guy you wanted to get beat up. And at least they're believable, whereas Paul Jones in this, what is this attire, man? Good Lord.
We've already discussed it.
But I still don't understand. As a British guy.
As a British guy.
He looks like he's got sea lions down his side.
It's half cowboy.
He's wearing it's called a cummerbund.
It's really just like that, like the shirt underneath that really gets me.
That's the Warlord who we'd seen WWF a few years later.
Right.
I think he's only like 25 here, by the way.
Jesus.
Yeah, Warlord's a young man here.
Cornette talks about him on his podcast, saying, nice guy, very respectful, couldn't work. that's nice, Jim.
Absolute body. But yeah.
Yeah. He's another guy that I think he was working out in the same gym as the Road Warriors, and they basically said, "Can we get into wrestling? You learn, if you're good at it, you learn $200,000 a year." Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't good at it. There's another forehead that's taken way too many blades.
That is a forehead, right? Ivan Koloff.
It used to be.
It used to be. JJ.
That's probably your best line on the show so far, JJ.
JJ's so slick with it.
No, that's what got him the honey over there.
Well, my sense of humour. That's what you're saying.
As opposed to your dashing good looks.
Well,
women like humour, right? You can only be that pretty for so long.
Is that so?
I'm you tell me from experience, listen. If hypothetically your man, you took him out on a date and he didn't have anything to say, he wasn't very funny, would you just be there going, hey, can we film a wrestling podcast tonight? Not much going on here.
So the first time that I was ever on it wasn't even a date. I'd gone out with all the people in my university halls, and Nicole was one of them. We all went to Nando's, and
love Nando's.
Right, and me and Nicole.
Did you used to wear cheeky before Nando's?
No, I'm
good.
Not.
Those people are nonsense. Sorry, Will Ospreay.
Anyway, so we'd like kissed once, and maybe something was happening. We'd all go out to Nando's, like 12 of us, and I was kind of nervous. I was like, I kissed this really hot girl. What's going on? I don't know. So anyway, 12 of us went out. They managed to get a table for 10, and they were like, oh, you two can just sit there. And I was like, oh, no. Now I'm stuck across from her, and I don't know what to say.
Stuck.
I'm really nervous. And I literally just ate my food, like, really fast, barely said a word. And I was like, should we go join them now that we finished? Yeah, come on. And then yeah. So clearly wasn't my sense of humor. I got over it pretty quickly. It all worked out in the end.
I think you did okay.
Once you broke the ice, I'm sure you were fine. Jed, you struck me as man. Once you're in your comfort zone, you're all right.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of guys who can't talk very well, Lex Luger here, the United States Heavyweight Champion, who is a horseman at this time, and they tried to help him so badly. And if you don't get it, you don't got it.
In the words of the late great Bobby the Brain Heenan, $1 million body, nickel brain.
And there's no better than Bobby. Yeah, we've just seen Arn and Tully, and now you see Lex and go, which one of these is not like the other? Especially once you see Flair in around half. Oh my god, the Flair promo. And the thing is, well, I've talked this up so much where it can't deliver just based on the hype. That's why it's better for women to be have their expectations low beforehand. Guys out there will know what I'm saying. Anyway, the United States champion entering the ring, white boots, black tights, mahogany body, very blonde.
Who in the hell is Tony Suber? Is this local talent?
I mean, I think so.
Look
at that lockup. That's so cool. It's the little things. You watch Arn going for open a match, and it's. I was watching a match from Arn and Bobby Eaton from '96, and it's brilliant. It's 6 minutes of just good work. God, I'm so.
Actually, we were saying about how good the crowd were. They've gone really quiet now.
Yeah,
that was everything you need to know, right?
The crowd are really hot. Not any more than hot.
Yeah.
And it, that can't be coincidence.
Yeah.
They're going to come up with the good stuff if it's good stuff.
Oh Jesus! It's not even that good at the ring. I mean, on this showing.
Well, the thing was, he was a project of Dusty, and again, Dusty was heavily involved in the Florida territory, as he asked me for a while. And it was, listen, it was you showing me a map, wasn't it, of where you want to that thing? Was it in Jacksonville? I was asking you Jacksonville to Miami.
Yeah,
it's like what, 500 miles or something.
Probably more.
Which is unbelievable. In my head, Florida. Yeah, it's another state.
Yeah, that's like driving the length of England, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Dusty was huge in Florida. So and he had his scouts out for talent everywhere. And Lex was his protege. And the idea, he came to Rick and said, I want to make, this guy's the next big thing in wrestling. I want to stick him in the Horseman. And he went, Dusty was always Flair's mentor anyway. 5 years older. He wanted to be Ramblin' Ricky Rhodes. He wanted to be Dusty's younger brother. Okay, if you say that, I'm happy with it. But he need. He dropped him in the torture rack.
I didn't even notice that. I was listening to you.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's just so bad.
Wow.
I'm just rewinding.
Just so bad.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Don't look.
And then he just
don't look, guys. Don't look. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, Lex, come in, pose, sit there, don't touch nothing, because.
Well, the plan was for him to be the next Hulk Hogan, wasn't it? Look at his look. Bringing in, he was in the World Bodybuilding Federation. He was going to be the guy.
This is the thing that people don't get, okay? Like, people can talk all the shit they want about Hulk Hogan.
One sec, Lizzie. Let's pause it here. Pause it at 40. We're at 47:35. JJ, I'll let you catch it because you were just admiring the.
That's right. I'm there.
Before we start here, if you are disappointed by this, we'll find a replacement next week because I'm sorry, this is one. I don't want to say it's one of the best of all time. It's my favorite. Again, Roderick Strong, Bryan Danielson, Vendetta, November the 6th, 05. Favorite match of all time, but this is one of the best promos of all time.
Okay, from 47:35.
47:35.
Tell me when.
And we will track it in.
We got my rant. It's good. I'm over it.
The pressure knife. This is shit. And we'll click play in 3, 2, 1.
It's all right.
Oh my lord, Tony! It's Tony for me.
Give it a 5 out of 10.
Wow. Such a tough thing. Jack's gonna fight you.
If you look at that reflection, first of all, you've got the vice president of Crockett Promotions, David Crockett. If you look in the background, that's the owner's brother. He is there staring at him with such wow. Oh, really good. I just see Lex Luger got 2-minute promo, and Flair's straight away said, Dusty Rhodes, Road Warriors, we are marketable people. First of all, You don't think we're shit? We'll go up there and earn a lot of money. Second of all, there's nothing else going on. Survivor Series, the first one, the same night. There's nothing else going on. This is the show.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to say, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to win the belt. No. I'm going to put the entire promotion over in 1 3-minute promo. And he doesn't, because again, why am I better than everyone else? Because I have had the benefit of my upbringing. Not because I'm better than you, because I've trained harder. Again, the heel promo. Oh, it used to be so much better. But yeah, the man with the golden spoon, my favorite promo of all time.
Essentially, what he's saying is, I'm better than you, and you know it.
And you know it.
I mean, what's all this new?
You wouldn't get that nowadays, would you?
That was 34 years ago. And, you know, the principles expelled in that type of virtue, it still happens. Look at Boris, look at this is inside, again, you might not have seen the lobbying scandal, Lissy over here, where some MP was paid £100,000 a year by 2 firms to go and argue his case in Parliament. And the privilege, and one of the privileged guys was caught out, so they just changed the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys who are brought up in certain middle upper class advantages are always going to have the same advantages.
Of course.
And that's a reason to hate him. And Flair kind of tries to, oh man, Arn has got some serious juice there. And he's trying to hold into that. And again, this was mainly watched by middle, lower working class, which is why Dusty was the hero. He's the American dream. He's the common man.
Yeah, working class folks.
Common man.
I still love that song. It's one of the best theme songs ever.
You kind of.
What is this?
I think this is supposed to be building up to the Bunkhouse Brawl, which I guess is their way of their version of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at Starrcade, I'm guessing.
First of all, what the hell is the Andre the Giant? What is that nonsense you just mentioned?
Talking about the iconic Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
The Bunkhouse Stampede is like a holds barred. It's a big Royal Rumble where anything goes.
Right. Okay. So it's okay. No DQ Battle Royal. That's what you're saying, Emma.
Yes.
Very good.
Although they have on Starrcade, right?
Which was huge. No. So, I'm trying to think dates-wise. 88. So before Starrcade 87, they had the Bunkhouse Stampede in New York the night before. And then I think in 88, before one of the big I think before the Clash of Champions, or maybe late 88 in the Nassau Coliseum. Is that New Jersey?
No, Nassau Coliseum's in New York, Long Island.
Okay. But WWE don't play much with New York. In the shadows of this is the world champion Ronnie Garvin right now trying to cut a promo. God love him.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to know why Garvin's reign didn't last long, we were
Proud American
listening to Flair, and when he was so.
And I'm going to tell you, when you are the world's champion, you are the best. So that makes me the best. And when you are the best, you wear whatever you want. And I like jeans, and I like my pickup truck, and I'm going to keep driving a pickup truck and keep on wearing jeans. And when I step in a ring at Starrcade, which it ain't very far away, we're talking about a cage match. Well, in a cage match, you do as you please. You're saying you're the 60-minute man. 60-minute man. Well, I'm going to tell you, Detroit.
60-minute man.
You lasted 41 minutes. That was your limit. That makes you a liar. You don't last 60 minutes with Ronnie Garvin. And at Starrcade, you're not going to be a 60-minute man. You're going to be about a 30-minute man when I get done with you, because I'm going to shove this down your throat, put you out of your misery, and then the next time you come out here, you're going to tell this whole country that they repossessed your mountain, your big house, your limousine, your Mercedes. They repossessed it all, because I'm going to tell you, without this, you cannot keep up your lifestyle, and I'm going to make sure that you don't.
The world champion Ronnie Garvin. Let's go back to the ring.
Ronnie said, I like my jeans and my pickup truck.
Because in in a promo like 2 weeks earlier, and that's Baby Doll, by the way, with Larry Zbyszko. They alluded to the fact Flair said, he said, like, you don't deserve to be world champion because you got your dream, your bigger trap, that golden retriever you called a woman. You can't be the world champion in that lifestyle. Golden retriever you call a woman. Fucking
oh my God.
And he got really wound up by that. And you saw the difference. This weird Baby Doll.
She would not get called a golden retriever.
She was Tully Blanchard's perfect 10.
Okay.
I tell you, she messaged the page a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I've seen you posted something about with her in, right? And she left some comments.
I tried to get her for an interview as well, and she's got a habit of no showing. So but she's very pro-Trump, very pro-Trump.
Right. That's okay.
He thinks Joe Biden should be, taken.
We're not having a conversation about politics with her, are we? We're having a conversation about wrestling. It's fine.
I know, but I'd have to wind her up or something. You do realize he's a fraud, right? That big orange.
Come on. Just keep it wrestling.
I'm sure some of the people that watch this show, like Trump, can see the benefits to him.
Really?
Actually, a lot of people like Trump.
There you go.
He got an office, so.
There you go.
Less said about America, the better in that case. Jesus.
And so I get a feeling in America, similarly to in the UK, a lot of the time, you're not even voting for the person, you're voting for the party, right? I think a lot of the time. It might help you swing one way or the other if you usually vote one way, but you really like the person who's representing the other side and you really don't like the person who's representing your side. It could swing you, but a lot of people are just Democrat for life, Republican for life. Same as here, they're conservative for life or Labour for life, and nothing's ever going to change that. Doesn't matter if it's Trump or.
And to be fair, that's what you got in the North as well. Like a lot of people would vote for Labour, especially in working class, like Huddersfield. People would vote for Labour just because they always have their entire life.
Well, I'm independent. I like to think for myself.
Question. How about it? The fourth queen over there. Oh, the list is independent. Throw your hands.
I hate you.
Could Baby Doll look any more 80s, by the way? That's a lot of blusher.
It's a lot of that. It's the sparkle too.
So they have a really good story going on, and then she just disappears. So Baby Doll was with Tully Blanchard. She was then with Dusty, and then she turned on Dusty and went with Flair in August '86.
Yeah.
Disappeared for a while, came up with Larry Zbyszko, but she got a lot of heat because in real life she was married to Sam Houston, and Sam was there going, "Yeah, you should be with the Horsemen. They don't treat you very well." And like, I'm with the biggest stable in wrestling. If they want me to go and get me a sandwich or help me out with, I'm going to do that because I'm getting looked after here. And he was down the card and he got moved to a different territory and he got quite jealous of her. And it didn't last very long.
Yeah, it's very Charles and Diana-esque.
Guys who get jealous of their partners, it's always going to end one way. And it's generally insecure men.
You know what? This is not a wrestling podcast anymore.
Is it even a wrestling podcast?
Today, it is a relationship / life advice / a little bit of politics.
A little bit. We've got Terry Taylor again, but pre-Red Rooster in some lovely purple tights.
We need to go back to '86, and then we wouldn't be able to stop Jackson talking about the wrestling.
Why is Terry Taylor trying to strut like Michael Hayes? That's hot stuff in Eddie Gilbert, isn't it? With it, this is like a very UWF heavy show. But they are really trying to blood these new guys in, and there's no. Again, the guys who have talked so much better than everyone else. You think, Tully, Flair, Dusty.
It's a lot going on.
My point is true, though. Most relationships end because guys are insecure.
Wow, we're back to that.
It's true. JJ, you're not. You know your missus way hotter than you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but like, don't you want that, though? Like, don't you want to be like, look at my wife. Oh, she's beautiful, or she's this, or she like not just beautiful.
Cute girls. Yeah, that's right.
You know,
look at her.
Like,
She's
she's so smart. Oh, she's so accomplished or whatever. Like, doesn't that make you guys feel good?
Of course, my wife is stunning and intelligent and funny and kind.
Yes.
And obviously, she goes for a stunning, intelligent, funny, and kind man like myself.
Who's got no chat in Nando's. No chat. JJ, can we explain as well how
10 years
annoyingly good looking that sounds really bad out loud. How annoyingly, beautiful your daughter is. Good Lord.
I know.
How lucky are you?
Both of them. So cute. The cutest.
Very lucky. She is, she's beautiful.
Although, I've got to say as well, it's a very Gibraltarian thing. Her ears have been pierced already.
I mean,
that's so Gibbo.
Maybe is it? Maybe it's an African thing because my Nicole's mum got her ears pierced in like her first week or two of being born. Her mum's Ghanaian, so I don't know. Maybe that's the thing.
We pierce like when the baby's like a couple months old. Like my sisters and I, all of our ears were pierced by the time we were 3 months.
Yeah, so there you go. Very young.
Yeah. But it's also like with little girls, like I think people like to pierce their ears because it helps people to know that they're a girl.
They're a girl.
See, that doesn't even bother me. Like we went out for lunch in the week and Seb's hair's got really long. We ended up tying it back into like a ponytail because otherwise it just looks like stupid. Like he's just got hair like everywhere. Like he just looks like a mini Einstein or something, trying to like... You want to comb it, you want to get the knots out and, make it look respectable at least. And we were sat at a restaurant and the waiter brought over food and then said, this is for the little girl, put it in front of him. I'm not going to correct him. It's hard to tell at that age.
I don't know what their pronouns are yet. They've not told me,
So
it's tough.
It's fine, doesn't bother me. But I think a lot of people do pierce the ears so that people know it's a girl. They put a little bow on their head.
Eddie Gibb was quite ripped here, by the way. Good traps. But I just look at me like I don't really care. And you think most of the people have been watching WTBS for a while. Tony doesn't look happy at all. Quite annoying that my young'un has already got more hair than I have, which is A, not difficult, and B, understandable.
Yeah, I mean, my little girl came out on day one with more hair than I've got on my head. So
you should be happy.
There's 2 girls on the ICU
mine
ward
is disappearing.
Who have both got like lots of, and it's Spain as well, so dark hair. Whereas George has got blonde hair and blue eyes, so he sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, he's got very Milner genes, so a lot of the Spanish nurses fuss over him. Let's trap this because this is one of the best of all time. James
E.
And with his patented colour scheme as well. Around this time as well, I think it's about they're going to have the scaffold match, the Rock.
Tag Team Champions, Tully and Arn, the U.S. Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express, and Big Bubba Rogers, the baddest man in the world. He's a monster, and he'll do anything I say. And rock and roll, the objective of the whole thing in the War Games is somebody's going to have to get hurt because somebody's going to have to quit for the thing to be over with. And if we got our say, and believe me, rock and roll, it's our objective. You're the ones that are going to be hurt. You're the ones that aren't going to be able to climb that 20 feet up in the air on that scaffold at Chi-Town Heat the next day, brother. But I'll tell you this, rock and roll, if you do make it to that scaffold, I want you to ask yourself a question. I want you to dig down deep, and I want you to look yourselves in the face, and I want you to ask yourselves a question concerning your guts, concerning your heart. If you see a man tottering, about to fall over the edge of a 20-foot scaffold, do you have it in your heart? Do you have it in your guts to push him off? If you look down at the edge of that scaffold and you look another human being in the eye, do you have the guts? Do you have the heart to stomp your fingers and send him on his way down to that mat 20 feet? Ask yourselves that question. In case you want to know the answer about the Midnight Express, we sure as hell do.
Okay, fans, let's go back to the ring.
Let's go to the ring.
It's the Western States Heritage Champion.
Again, the same with Arn and Tully and Flair. Looked straight down the camera, talk to the audience. But the guy's just a bit wishy. You've got to commit to it.
Yeah.
I have a question that I've been wondering for most of this episode. What is Chi-Town Heat? I don't know what's happening.
It's the moniker for Stargate because it's in Chicago for the first time.
Okay, all right, cool.
And that was pretty much the death of Stargate. So 83 was the first one. 83 was Flair for the gold. 84 was the $1 Million Challenge. Flair Dusty. 85 was the Gathering. I think that in 85 the Gathering. It was Flair versus Dusty, but they had it in two different venues: the Omni in Atlanta and Greensboro. At 86, the same, Atlanta and then the first time took it away from Greensboro, from North Carolina. It bombed because Vince put Survivor Series on and said, if you carry Starrcade, you're not going to get WrestleMania next year.
Yeah.
And this is 6 months after Hogan Andre at WrestleMania 3.
Right.
And people were shit scared that they wouldn't get WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the end of, pretty much the end of Jim Crockett Promotions. Big superplex by Barry Windham. Again, this is the Western States Heritage Championship. This is like a title that they made up just because they would start running like San Francisco and LA and California. That meant nothing. But Barry was great. Like we will touch on this next year when it's 88 and when he becomes a horseman, because Barry as a horseman is unbelievable.
That there's never been a day in my life when I wasn't a competitor. And I see something in your eyes that you have a little bit of doubt about that. Well, listen to me. You say friends are out when we step in the ring. Well, let me tell you something. Friends are not out. But the competitor that's in me will thrive that night. And I'm going to show you exactly what I can do, Dr. Death. Now, you know, you live up to your name. You live up to all your expectations. And you are a very close friend of mine. But when we get in the ring, like you said, you and I may call it quits.
Excuse me.
But I'm going to shake your hand when it's all said and done. And I'm going to walk away a friend and a competitor. And Mr. Zbyszko, this Western States Heritage Championship is something I earned and something that I took from a lot of good men. And if you have any idea of how hard and how much that I've worked to keep this belt, you just keep watching me, because you're going to see very clearly.
Barry Windham.
Williams and Johnny Ace. You listen to that, JJ. Who's Johnny Ace?
We know.
He ends careers, right?
Oh, well, no offense, kids, just a budget thing. Best of luck in your future. Do you see I dug out that clip from 10 years ago? Yeah.
Where they fired Harry.
David Howard Smith. His name is Harry Smith.
Harry Smith.
Gutless. Yeah. That tweet got about 1,200 likes as well. A lot of people retweeted it.
Yeah, I saw it did well.
Gutless. Do you know who I am? I'm a machine. Call me Brian Cage.
Come on.
But it's weird that 10 years on, after Punk, everything Punk said came true. Everything.
This is why he was so popular, even in WWE, because he said the people that have gone from WWE to AEW fans, they're the people that are like, yeah, everything he's saying is true. And they just got sick of what WWE were doing and gone to a show that they actually enjoy, rather than a show that they feel obliged to watch because they've been watching it for 15, 20 years.
The reason why I think everyone gave Punk a chance in 2020, 2011, because he was right. And I think we all thought he could change things. So if enough people get behind him, change has to happen. And then even with the momentum, even with him voice to voiceless walking out, nothing mattered. And 10 years down the line, like you said, like Lizzie said, Tyler Money was promised, Frankie Money was promised the world, and she was sacked like 3 months later. It just proves that it doesn't matter. You are just a cog in the machine.
The machine keeps running.
With or without you, we are going to carry on and make a lot of money, and it doesn't matter. You don't matter.
Yeah, but I think people got behind Punk and still get behind Punk because he says those like real things where like we kind of, even if you're like a wrestling fan and you're just wondering what happened to this person or what happened to that person or like how things work, he exposes that, like he breaks down that, proverbial fourth wall, right? Where people are like, oh shit, wow, that really did happen. I thought so, but he confirms it for you.
Well, it's the same with like when it was the FTR as the luchadors, as the super runners, it's JR doing it. I don't know who they are. Punk's there going, it's FTR. What are you talking about? Like, are you idiots? Like, are we going to pretend it's not them? That's Dax. That's Dax Harwood. I mean, it looks a little bit like, no, that's Dax and that's Cash. We're not going to be like stupid here, are we?
Yeah, I actually love him on commentary. It's funny because we were, I was in the audience for that, so obviously I didn't hear the commentary live. But
you were there.
Yeah, like everyone was like, "Who is that? Who is that?" So it's actually funny to hear that JR was like doing it cutely.
Why was Johnny Ace dressed in a Union Jack in this time?
I mean, what the hell else were they going to do with him?
He wears the sheepherder's pants.
He's with them.
But he wears a Union Jack. That's not the New Zealand flag.
It doesn't matter.
You do realize why he got so far in life is because he was giant, because they were wrestling in All Japan as well, and he was Giant Baba's wife's favorite guy. She thought he was really cute, so he got booked a lot.
That's all it takes.
Which is weird that, again, nepotism works.
I want to hear him talk to see if he actually has the same disgraceful raspy voice that he has now.
Well, I mean, the thing is, right, these guys are great tag champ. Oh, fuck off, Johnny. Jim Ross absolutely buries him in his podcast.
Really?
They brought him along from when they bought WCW, they brought him along and he wanted to help out with talent relations. So, yeah, I let him help out and he was my understudy. And then he basically cut my throat and tried to take my job. And took it.
Dog eat dog.
Nothing personal, kids. Just a business thing. And JR points out the guys who I brought along I had Edge, I had Christian, I had Jericho, brought Angle in, brought Taz, and then through because him and Cornette were still really good friends. Cornette ran out of OVW, brought in Cena, Brock, Shelton Benjamin.
Randy Orton,
yeah, a few other good guys.
Batista.
Yeah, Batista, he was the Leviathan. Yeah, he goes, my track record's all right. Who, since 2005-06, when John Laurinaitis was in charge of television, who's come on?
Roman Reigns. Yeah.
That Roman wasn't really. Johnny Laurinaitis wasn't really.
The Shield.
The Shield was Punk's idea.
Yeah, the Shield all came up, but yeah, I mean, I don't know who's done what backstage, but yeah, I mean, they've made a few stars. They've wasted way more talent than they've actually made anything with. So,
but in 15 years, you could probably say 3 guys, right?
Big stars, I would conservatively say that, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the Rock and Roll lost the tag belts to Arn until last month, and they're preparing for a scaffold match with Midnight. The Midnight lost a scaffold match to the Road Warriors the year before, where Cornette was thrown off the scaffold. Big Bubba was supposed to catch him, but he was smacked up his tits on crack cocaine that night and dropped him. And Cornette did his knee ligaments.
These are the real mullets, by the way.
Yeah. Pro mullets.
And they still got him, too.
Now it all makes sense. So Shawn Michaels is just trying to be Robert Gibson.
So sorry, they're having a War Games match. The Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express. Is that right? Just
it's a rock
tag
and
team
roll
match.
I can't believe this is going to end the show. It's
Believe it.
wow, Jive Tones. Which Shaska Watley was with Paul Jones last year in Paul Jones's army. He's the guy come out and say, "You heathens and hillbillies." Wow.
What's with the gimp mask in the corner?
This is like 2 weeks before Starcade, and they're ending the show with this.
This is the main event.
Wow.
I mean, shouldn't they have like reasonably ended with like Flair's promo?
Wow.
That would make sense.
Oh God, yeah. By late '87, you know, prior to SummerSlam, I think SummerSlam '88 was the first SummerSlam, wasn't it? It was the $1 million team against the Mega Powers.
Mm-hmm.
The WWF thought Flair was so close to signing in mid '88. Vince thought he'd signed him, and he couldn't do it just out of loyalty to Jim. Jim Crockett Jr. was the best man at his wedding. Which one? To Beth in '83, which is Megan and David Flair. Megan obviously being Conrad Thompson's now wife. But they thought they'd signed him, and he just couldn't do it.
Wait, no, you mean Ashley and Reed's mom. Megan and David are from first marriage.
Yeah, from the first marriage. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But yeah, they thought they'd signed him, and Flair couldn't do it. And you think you could see why by this stage, 87, 88, he would have at least had his head turned. Because this is not what he was 12 months earlier.
Mm.
Just in terms of the depth of talent on the show. Double Russian leg sweep. That was really bad. Man, Teddy's getting a lot of airtime tonight.
Great main event. Yeah, he's refed every single match.
Yeah. Jive Tones. What's your favorite Jive Tones match, JJ?
This one, I thought this main event that they had against Gimp Mask and his pal, just good match. You know, poor clothesline, but good finish. So,
you know, let's give him. He could always got a good promo. God love him, but.
And that's right, you're looking at the Jive Tones, who will be taking care of business there too. Now everybody knows about you, Ron Simmons. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, buddy. It ain't no touchdowns in there. It's takedowns. Yeah. And it ain't no football. Any kicking be done. It's when we kick our foot upside your head. Luger gonna whoop Dusty Rhodes and retire him. I know that. I'm going with Luger. And I don't know why. I'm gonna watch when Ric Flair take the hands of Stone and make them in the cut. Everybody knows that when time get down, we gonna get down. Look for us. Don't know them. Woo!
Angel, see you next week here on the Superstation.
Ain't you talking yet?
Now
yes,
you are.
Well,
wow.
That was an underwhelming end.
Wow.
Yeah. JT, your thoughts on the episode?
In ring, nothing really to get excited about, but there were some phenomenal promos. Cornette, Flair, Tully and Arn. Mostly Arn more than Tully actually this time. But yeah, that shows you again just how far he's come in the last couple of years. But yeah.
Yeah, listen, that wasn't great parts, was it? Listen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That wasn't great in parts, was it?
Oh no, I mean, I think, like JJ said, not a lot of good wrestling. I mean, I think Arn and Tully had the best match on the card. A lot of good promos. Obviously, I know you were very excited all day to watch Ric Flair's promo on here, but you could tell they were kind of on the decline.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the guys who stood out there were the people who were there the year before, there the year after, and there's a lot of filler in between. Yeah. So like the stuff we saw in '86, it was like bang, big promo. Okay, then a 5-minute match or 2-minute match, big promo of 2-3 minutes. Then Tony go to the ring, bang, bang, bang. And,
well, I think also like the previous TV spot, how long was it? Because this was 1 hour 20. So like it seemed like they got more TV time. They were trying to fill it, but it was just a lot of fluff. It wasn't a lot of good quality. So I would be taking a lot of snack breaks and drink breaks and be very okay with missing a couple of these matches, if not all.
I'm guessing this would have been a 2-hour show on TV as well, right?
Yeah.
With the ad breaks. So before
120.
watching
So
like a 1 hour show, 40 minutes in total without the ads. So yeah, it you can see the difference. It drags a little bit. It's like going from a 2-hour Raw to a 3-hour Raw.
Yep.
Did it make you any more or less excited to watch Starcade?
I mean, the big matches built up. You're looking for, I mean, Flair versus Garvin. I'm not hugely sold on Garvin, but sure. The Rock and Roll Express match looks fun. The Arn and Tully, exciting. Dusty. Yeah, there's some good stuff on this upcoming Starcade. Just a filler, right? I mean, the big guys get the job done. Get the people in the building. There's just no one behind it.
Listen, does that make you even more or less, I don't know, likely or wanting to try and watch a Starcade 87 watch along?
Well, I mean, in terms of...
You've got a busy schedule, so I appreciate the Queen may not have time for us.
I'm doing my best. I'm just sneaking you guys in, okay? But I mean, of course, there's like the scaffold match and stuff like that. Was there ever a really good scaffold match? I don't know.
Never.
Exactly.
Maybe New Jack and Vic Grimes, because a man nearly died, but apart from that, yeah.
Exactly. So it doesn't really make me super enthusiastic or anything to look forward to in terms of being like, outside of Cornette's big promo that he cut talking about the scaffold match. That's probably the best part of it, right? And then, how many times can we see Ronnie Garvin versus Ric Flair too? I think that's a big piece of things.
I'm telling you now, Ric Flair, as a proud American, exactly. I got a promo.
I'm good.
You're good for now, right? Okay.
Wait, I'm Gucci. We're gonna make you American.
In the words of the immortal Roy Keane, complete load of nonsense. By the way, if you're a football fan, No Context Keane's added 8,000 followers in 2 days. So at No Context Kino, give it a follow. You might like some Christmas jumpers. I need to buy some knuckles. JJ, our next thing we're going to watch is Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling from the 16th of November, 1985. Are you excited?
Is this what I think it is?
Hard times, Daddy.
Hard times. It's going to be good times if you join us for the show.
Man, I can see why she fell for you, hook, line, and sinker. Jesus. That's a massive schlong. Let's see, we're going to be going back to 1985. Again, another one. WWE always claims that it's October 29, 1985. It's not. It's the 16th of November, 1985. WWE horrible with dates with the Carolinas. What are your lasting memories of late 85 in the build to Starcade, James Crockett Promotions?
Well, I would like to go on record and remind everyone that I was not alive in 1985.
I know nothing of JJ Schlong, but I will.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that 1985 was arguably
the rogue elephant. Yeah.
Or one of the best years in wrestling. So I have high expectations and I'm sure that they will be met.
And we will hopefully that you will join us. I think there's a good chance we watch Starcade 85. I think we can find 3 hours in your time schedule. As busy as you are.
Let me check my schedule, guys.
If you've got rosé in the fridge, you're all right.
Kidding. I'm game. Let's do it.
As long as I gotta say, we don't need to you don't need to ask permission or anything, do you, from Ball and Chain now, or you all right?
Quentin, can I watch Starcade 1985? Or whatever year it's supposed to be, 1987. He said sure.
Okay. Just make sure the Crocs are gone. That's fine. JJ, it's been a pleasure. Let's say we will speak to you next week. Episode 6 coming up shortly. Hard times, Daddy. From the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Ta-ta for now.